Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10 list. I sure hope this top 10 list works out better than I'm hoping because some of the items are rather large. I know Christmas is coming, and with Christmas coming, people are going to be asking, what do you want for Christmas? And I do not recommend you telling them to buy you collectible notes because they may not know condition, they may not know value the way that you know value, the way that you know condition. But if they want to buy you something to help your hobby, may I suggest one of these 10 books? That's right, top 10 books to help you with currency collecting. Now, I have obviously all 10 of these books. I've talked about all 10 of these books in the past, but what better time to review the top 10 books you should most likely have? If you do not have all of these books, then make a list of the ones that you don't have, and there you go. There's your Christmas list. All right, let's get started. Number 10. This is a fun book if you have the time and the space. This is the 100 Greatest American Currency Notes. It is a full color book. It shows front and back of each of the top 100. The top 100 was put together by Q. David Bowers and who else? David M. Sunman. And this was based on what sellers were telling them, what collectors were telling them. It goes into detail about each of the top 100. Like I said, showing front and back. It also gives a brief rundown of values from 1960, 1980, 2000, and present, which would have been about 2020 when this was put out. So to see the full color versions of all these is just incredible. The stories that go behind the notes is just another fascinating read. And to have all of these together. Now, you'll learn quickly that even if money was not an issue, you still cannot get all 100 because some of them are unique. Some of them are only available in museums. So that's the downside. You can never complete the 100 greatest American currency notes, but it's always fun to try. And I have 30 something of them, I believe. I haven't counted them in a while, but I've got lists showing which ones that I've got. Anyway, the 100 Greatest American Currency Notes. What a great book. It's just a fun read. And for all these books, I'm going to show you this so that if you want to try to find it that way, go ahead. There's the ISBN number. All right, so that's number 10. Number 9. This one's a no-brainer. Paper Money of the United States. If you do not have this book, get this book. They just came out with the 23rd edition. That's the purple one. And everybody's going to say, where did you buy the spiral bound one? I didn't. I bought the soft cover, and then I took it to a print shop, and I had them put the spiraling in. It cost like $5 to have that done to a book, and then the book lays flat. This book gives you prices on just about everything you can imagine. Different prices for different conditions. It's full color. You get paragraphs and pages explaining all kinds of different stuff in here as well. Great book to have. This is what I use to determine price and value, or at least it's my starting point. And then from there, if I have trouble finding a note, I know it's going to be more expensive listed in the guide. I know if everybody's got one, I can probably get one a little bit cheaper, that kind of thing. But this is my starting point for Paper Money of the United States, and there is the information on that one. That one is number 9. Number 8, another go-to book for me, Obsolete Paper Money, A Guide with Prices by Don Kelly. Great source. It's out of print. If you find one, it's going to run you about $70. If you are into obsoletes at all, this is a necessary pickup. Not only does it show full color of thousands and thousands and thousands of obsoletes, it gives you price ranges for them all as well. You could look at one note selling for $50 and wonder if that's a good deal, and then flip open this book and see that it books for here just random. Look, this one's $1,500. Here's one that's $600. This one's $700. This is $400. Would you ever guess that a note looking like this would be worth $400? No. So it could be priced at $50. This book says it's $400. There, that more than covered the price of this book. Okay, so yeah, if you ever consider buying any obsolete currency at all, buy this first. because you can look through all of the different things here just to get ideas on what to look for, what to buy. And when you do stumble across some obsolete currency, now you know the value of it and can do proper negotiating from there. Or not. Like I said, if someone's asking $100 for a note that this book says is worth $600, yeah, you break out that $100 bill real quick and it's yours. So obsolete paper money, yeah, that one's number 8. Number 7. Go with another spiral bound. National Banknotes, 6th edition by Don Kelly. Also another book that's out of print, also going to run you about $70 or so. But hey, if it's a Christmas present, it doesn't run you anything, right? Very difficult book to find. Being out of print, I want to say, yeah, this one doesn't even have an ISBN. I don't think Obsolete Paper Money does either. Nope, because they weren't mass produced. You can find them at shows. Certain dealers are going to carry them as well. National banknotes. There are 15,000 different charter numbers for national banks. Every national bank had so many different variants. I mean, look at this. This is just random page, okay? And if I fold this over here, we happen to be looking at New Jersey, and here is the charter number 5061, the First National Bank of Summit. And you can see they had brown backs, 1882 date backs, the plain backs, and it tells 4x5. That means on one sheet there were 4 $5 notes, and the serial numbers were 1 through 7,090, and those sell for about $750 a piece in an average grade of 20. That's how you read all that. And there's type 1s, $5, $10, $20, type 2, 5, 10, 20. And that's just this one bank. If we go here, the original series, that's 1862. Then you have the series 1875, the brownbacks again. It just goes through all the detail. And this, I've shown you this bank, and I've shown you this bank. There are 15,000. They're all listed like that. Just a ridiculous reference point. Are the prices up to date? No, not at all. That means whatever price is in here is probably less than what the note is actually worth. But still, isn't it important to know if a note's worth $100 or $1,000? And yes, sometimes those could be the differences. So that is the National Banknotes 6th edition by Don Kelly as well. That one is number 7. Number 6. We're going to go with this one. This is the Canadian Government Paper Money book. Also a spiral bound book. I figure I'll knock out all the spiral bounds right away. This is what paper money in the United States is, but for Canada. It goes through all the different print runs, all the different styles, all the different signature combinations, as well as prices, as well as introducing history about the different notes. Now, I know Canada is a foreign country to most of the viewers that are watching this, but this is the book that if you collect paper money in Canada, this is the book that you have. This is your go-to, and they even put out this book once a year, if I recall. So, yeah, this one is, 31st edition, 2019. That's this particular one. So, yeah, you can most certainly find newer ones. Here is the ISBN for that, because this is actually a real book, so you'll be able to find this and be able to figure it out from there. Charlton Press, Toronto, Ontario. Very cool book, very informative book. When it comes to foreign currency, Canadian currency is my go-to for foreign currency. That's why I like having this, because I'm fascinated by a lot of the different notes there, and this way I know I'm not getting ripped off. So that is number 6. Number 5. I have United States Paper Money Errors, a comprehensive catalog and price guide by Frederick J. Bart, 4th edition. I wish they'd come out with a 5th edition. Somebody said that they may be coming out with that. Anyway, this book it's not color, it's just black and white, but that's fine. It gives examples of all of the major errors that you're going to find. It gives the stories behind how these may or may not happen. They give prices. There are charts in here as far as when there were inverted print runs, which print runs are known. I mean, just so many different things like that. Having multiple pictured examples also allows you to not only figure out which error you have, but which denomination it is, and help you determine how much it's worth. Great book for collecting errors. United States Paper Money Errors. There is the ISBN on that one. That one is number 5. Number 4. another error book. This one is U.S. Error Note Encyclopedia, and it is a little bit thicker, and it also contains a lot of the stuff from the other one, but it has stuff the other one doesn't. The other one has stuff this one doesn't. So I tend to use these in conjunction with each other. I'll check both books, and I will do the middling portion of it. I like the stories in this one better, how it talks about the notes. I like the prices and the way that the other book is laid out. It's easier to find stuff. But between the two of them, you get all the information you're going to need on errors. Now, once again, we're talking about books that are a couple years old now, so prices in them, may be a little bit on the low side, but that's fine because it's a starting point. So, U.S. Error Note Encyclopedia and United States Paper Money Errors. There's the ISBN number for this one. Either one or both, preferably. This one even has the famous Del Monte sticker note on the back. Anyway, yeah, either one of these or both of them should be in your collection. That is number 4. Number 3. And these aren't in listing of importance, by the way. These are just how I'm piecing them together. I've got Small Size U.S. Paper Money, another book that's out of print. You can still find it, though. This is the 10th edition. And what's more important about this, not necessarily the pricing that's in here, but it gives you info on the print runs. It gives you info on starting serial numbers and ending serial numbers. It tells you a little bit about the rare blocks. It goes into a little bit more detail about some of the experimental stuff. From that aspect, just a huge, huge source of information when it comes to collecting small size notes. Just fascinating when you see how many of the star notes there are compared to how many of the regular notes. I mean, there's just so many stars that were printed that people don't understand how common star notes really were. They're neat because they're easy to spot, but there's not a whole lot of value in them. Anyway, it goes through all the different denominations, and anything small size notes, this covers it. And it does give you stuff like extremely short prints, like here, showing you that, there's one you may want to pay attention to. Oh, here's one you may want to pay attention to. And those aren't that old. This is a 1993 green seal. 1988A, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can discover. Think of it as a cherry picker's guide, but for paper money. All right, ISBN number right there. That is the standard guide to small size U.S. paper money. One other thing I want to point out to you guys, if you do not have this book, let's see if I can find it. Contributors. And if we look, there is Dennis Huff. Dennis was a good friend of mine. He came on our currency roundtable, and he became friends with all of us. We lost Dennis earlier this year, and that's how big Dennis was to the hobby. He was a contributor to this book here. Among many, many, many other things. His collection was immense. It's just great to have a piece of history with his name permanently in it like that. Anyway, that's number 3. Number 2. This is just awesome. This is Collecting Confederate Paper Money. It's a hardcover book by Pierre Frick. Pierre Frick is a genius when it comes to collecting Confederate currency. Every book has a little bit about Confederate currency. I think Paper Money of the United States has like 4 pages. This entire book is all Confederate currency. I want to say there are 71 different types. Each new series and each denomination was given a type number. And that's how this book is divided. The first note you're going to find, here's type 72. So that's the last particular one there. The book is full color and has so many different charts, so many different prices for grades, so many different varieties. Once again, you can cherry pick so many interesting things using this book if you start diving into Confederate currency. Not only that, he takes care of the regular notes and the counterfeits, because Confederate currency was heavily counterfeited because of the war. So there was regular notes and Confederates. To be able to tell the difference, Just such an incredible, incredible reference book. If you ever get to see it, if you ever go to a major show, chances are Pierre Frick's going to be there, and he's probably going to have these. He calls this Field Edition 2014. I shouldn't speak for Pierre Frick, but something tells me that if you buy one of the books from him, he'd probably sign it, especially if you bought it from him directly. But yeah, the major shows, he's going to be there, and just an incredible reference when it comes to Confederate money. I know a lot of you guys like seeing my counterfeit stuff. This is how I know the counterfeit stuff from the Confederate states anyway. So that's number 2. And finally, number 1. I'm calling this one number 1 because I know it is probably the easiest book of all of these to get, and it's such a quick reference for me. The Green Guide of Fancy Serial Numbers, a beginner's guide by R.B. Edgar and Alan A. Moss. These guys went through all the work of categorizing all the different types of fancy serial numbers. Everything that's got a name, and some things that probably shouldn't have a name, they put it all in this book. Does that mean it's all worth something? No. And they knew that, which is why when you go through all of their stuff in here, they have no problem telling you how many of a specific thing there is, how rare it is, and if it is or isn't worth anything over face value. They're not afraid to put that 0 over face value. Doesn't mean it isn't cool or neat to collect them. It just means that you shouldn't expect any additional money for them, nor should you be paying additional money. Now, of course, if you have something that's ridiculously rare, like these, that's different. That also gives you kind of a price range. But I mean, I don't have this book for the prices. I have this book for the rarity. It's important to know how rare a note is. When you stumble across a note and go, oh, that's neat. Gee, I wonder how often can a person find one of those? That's where this book comes in. So if you strap search like I do, and you run across any type of note, this is the book you need. Or you need a bachelor's degree in statistics. I do not have a bachelor's degree in statistics, so I rely on the numbers that they crunched to find out how rare something is. That is why I like this book, and I know that this is one of the easiest books to get because it's on eBay. You can go on eBay and buy this book right here. So yeah, this is one of the more fun books that you're going to have. Some of the other books, like I said, are out of print. You really have to hunt for them. Other ones you have to go to the publisher. But yeah, the Green Guide to Fancy Serial Numbers. There's the ISBN number for it right there. And I don't know if I showed Pierre Frick's. Did I show that? There's Pierre Frick's, the Confederate ISBN number there. And once again, we'll run through. Here's U.S. small size paper money. Don't know if I showed that one either. I think the rest of them I got. But yeah, got all that stuff there. That is what I would say. If you don't have any of these books in your collection, you most certainly want to get some of these books in your collection. If you have most of these, well, now you know 1 or 2 or 3 that you don't have that you may want to add. If people say, what do you want for Christmas? You can go, I saw this book that I'd really love to get. And you can send them out to get that and know that they can't screw it up. They're getting a book. They're not getting, they're not paying an uncirculated price for a note graded net 6, So anyway, that's what I've got for you this week. If you learn anything new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. Love reading your comments. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.